First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. A big shout out to all the Akim. This is Deuteronomy 32, carrying on from verse 8. When the Most High divided the nations with their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. The sons of Adam. So, the genealogy of the Bible says that we are all from Adam, but under that he set different people. So, he said that there are different bounds, they have different, they have different destinies, different futures. For the Lord's portion, and from the different people that he set apart, just as he set apart the land from the sea and the day from the night, he set apart the different people and gave them different jobs to do. And he chose his people. The Lord's portion, verse 9. For Yahweh's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So all the people who descended from Jacob are the Lord's people of his inheritance. Possession, you see. So the people of Jacob belong to Yahweh. He found him in the desert land and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye, the pupil, the middle. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, and fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. So the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. That's really important. When an eagle, if you see where an eagle lays its eggs, it's in a high rock where the eagle's nest is. It's perilous. And so the eagle must take very good care of its chicks, because all around them is death, destruction. And that is how Yahweh, found Jacob. I think it's Jacob he's talking about. And how Yahweh instructed Jacob and brought him up the right way. And there was no strange God with him. He didn't have, he was able to do this. He was able to get so close to Jacob because he was not involved in any strange pagan traditions. He wasn't celebrating Easter. He wasn't celebrating Christmas. He wasn't celebrating Halloween. He didn't have some funky crystal rocks around him that, were for other, which were, sort of traditions of other gods. He didn't have any strange customs. There were no spirits hanging around him that he would have inadvertently invited from following strange customs. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields. Again, just like the eagle parody, is like God is Yahweh instructed him on how to fly like an eagle, and so that he might be able to eat like an eagle. And he made him suck the honey out of the rock and the oil out of the flinty rock. This is just a metaphor To suck honey out of rock is to get profit where others cannot see any opportunity. Can you find a honey in a rock, or can you find oil in flinty stone? You know, flint is so dry it sparks. It, so how would you find oil in a rock that's so dry? But Yahweh enabled Jacob to find such a thing. Butter of Keen. Where's Keen? Let's have a quick look. Yeah. And milk of sheep with the fat of lambs and rams of the breed of Bashan. See, these are all the finest things. The butter. You know, to make butter, you've got to first get milk. And you get lots of milk and you churn it and you churn it and churn it, and then you get rid of the buttermilk, and then you finally have the butter. So it's the cream of the cream, literally, because you get the cream from the butter, from the milk, you throw it away, you get the cream from the buttermilk, you throw the buttermilk away, and then you get the butter. It's like the highest, most, expensive delicacy. And Brahms of the breed of Bashan, I'm assuming, just come with my assumptions now. I'm assuming that Bashan, the breed of Bashan is the highest, and the fat and goats, the fat of kidneys, and thou shalt drink the pure blood of the grape. You take the grape, get rid of the skin, you get rid of the pulp, you just take the pure juice. You've taken the cream of the cream. So this is how Yahweh instructed Jacob, like an eagle, such that he could get the best of the best, where from the flinty rock and the stone, or just out of rock, where there was no opportunity for others. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxed and fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Yahweh, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Here, rock is a different rock. This, I think, should be translated as foundation. The rock of his salvation is the foundation, the thing that the base on which he was able to rise, the shoulders on which he stood, the foundation on which he built his house. Jeshurun forsook it. A symbolic name for Israel, describing her ideal character. Israel forsook it. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not. This is new, a different one. To new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Now that's interesting, because these demons, that Israel began sacrificing to, they didn't need to. Our forefathers who walked with Yahweh, or who were instructed by Yahweh, were never fearful of them. They didn't care. They didn't care that these demons didn't get their sacrifice. Fuck them, for want of a better way of putting it. Didn't care. Didn't need to follow them. Of the rock, remember, I call it the foundation. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he had abhorred him because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very froward, perverse, froward generation, children in whom there is no faith. They have moved me to jealousy. with that which is not God. They provoke me to anger with their vanities, and I will see. Vanities again is something that beareth not fruit, something that is useless, something that is just a waste of time. And I will move, and that was all the forgetting of the foundation. The forgetting of, they say never forget where you came from. Israel forgot where they came from and started going after other gods. Imagine like someone coming into your house and addressing your children as the head of the house and telling them how to run, giving them advice on how to run the house. They walking straight past you. It's something like that. It's like disrespect, and taken for granted. That's what Israel did to Yahweh. They took him for granted, disrespected, forgot about him, and then disrespected him by going with other gods from that height which Yahweh had brought them. They've provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. Who are those which are not a people? The heathens, the Edomites. Members of one's, they're not members of your people, they're not your kin. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish generation. What was it? Isaiah says they were children of fools. Children of base men. So I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Who are this foolish nation? Edomites. This is particularly Edomites because they're not talking about nations, all the heathen. They're talking about a particular one nation, singular. Who are the foolish? Who are the children of fools? Who are the base men? Edomites. I'm going to stop there. I'll just read this last bit. For a fire is kindled in mine anger, and shall burn until the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and shall set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Who's the mountain? The mountain is Israel, Mount Zion. Who's the foundation? The foundation is the rock which God set under Zion. It's really good when you read the scripture and you let it marinate for a little bit. The rock is the foundation under Zion, the thing that had built the Israelites up and up and up and up. When Yahweh found Jacob in the wilderness, taught him to find honey where there's rock, find oil where there's flinty stone. Honey is like one of the one of these, there's a delicacy. You have to keep bees, and you have to have a garden, and you have to have flowers, and then even then you kill off loads of bees, all the young bees and then you take the honey. It's expensive. Oil's precious. To crush lots of seeds or kernels or wherever you get oil from, different fruit or vegetables or whatever, seeds. Crush them all up. If you see how much for rose oil, how many roses you have to take for a bottle of rose oil, you have to have a truckload of roses. Oil is precious, expensive, and luxurious. And Yahweh taking Jacob and Israel and put that foundation under them such that they could get that increase. And now he's set to burn it and using a foolish people. It said that, roughly paraphrasing, but the heathen are the sword of the Lord. He's going to use a particular nation and who to set the fire under the mountain of Israel, onto the foundations, and provoke them to anger and jealousy. And our people are frustrated right now, and good. We deserve it. I will heap mischiefs upon them. 23. And that nation is the Edomites. I will heap mischiefs upon 23. I will heap mischiefs upon them, and I will spend mine arrows upon them. They shall be burnt with hunger. Now that burnt is interesting, because this is the fire we're talking about. So these are the things that fire was going to bring, and this is the thing. And you remember who's going to be the people that will set that fire. It's the Edomites. So these are the things that the Edomites shall do unto Israel in order to bring them down and provoke them to jealousy and anger. They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat. And with bitter destruction I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. I'm going to stop there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.